welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be learning all about foundation. This is Makeup 101 and it's all about foundation. I didn't apply any foundation on my face because I wanted to do it with you guys. Let's go ahead and get started and talk about the different foundations I have, I love, and that I use. So I think I'll start by naming the ones that I have, and then I'll go ahead and give you guys like categories where they fit in. If you hear strange noises, that is most definitely my dogs. They get a burst of energy when I decide to do videos. And if I close the door, then they love crying. Sorry about that. So the very first one I ever came across high-end was Urban Decay Naked Skin. This has a demi-matte finish, but I think it's more of a natural finish. That's just me though. I think technically it's demi-matte. Maybelline's Matte and Poreless. Of course, this is a matte foundation. Then I have this One and Done by Urban Decay as well. This isn't technically a foundation. It's more like a BB cream, and it has SPF protection of 20, and this has a natural finish. Then I have Tarte Rainforest of the Sea. This has a satin finish. 3 of L'Oreal's foundations. The first one is Infallible Pro Matte. This, of course, is a matte foundation. Then I have L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow, and this is more of a dewy finish. Then I have Infallible Total Coverage, and this is a natural finish. Then I have Pro Longwear Glow Nourishing Waterproof Foundation by MAC, and this is a natural satin finish. Makeup Forever Ultra HD Foundation in liquid and in stick, and these are both a natural finish. Then we have Revlon Photo Ready Airbrush Effect, and I'd say this is a demi-matte finish. So now you may wonder, what is the difference between the finishes? So basically the differences between matte versus dewy is the amount of shine or radiance that this foundation gives to your skin. For example, if you have oily skin, then you may want more of a matte finish because this is going to reduce the amount of shine on your face and absorb it a little bit. If you have a dry skin, you may want to opt for the dewy foundation. This is going to give your skin a more radiance, wet look, natural glowing look. And it is typically associated with a more natural, healthy look as well. And then the natural finish is more of that, a natural look. More skin-like. It's neither oily nor dewy. It's supposed to mimic the way our skin naturally is. Foundation is all about preference. For me personally, I prefer a foundation that looks natural on my skin. That I don't need a whole lot of coverage, and I'm kind of a normal skin. I'm not too oily, not too dry. It's kind of a combination. So that for me, I can explore with a lot more foundations because if I choose to do a dewy finish foundation or a natural finish foundation, it's not going to make me look too oily or too dry. If I want to do a matte foundation, then that's totally fine too. A lot of girls nowadays actually prefer a matte finish. It typically has way more coverage, so it covers more imperfections. And if you have oily skin, as I said, this helps minimize the look of the oily skin. So it's more of a porcelain-like skin finish, and it doesn't attract light as much, which is a good thing if you have oily skin. You don't want the camera to pick up on those spots that are extra shiny. I'm gonna move along to my process of putting on foundation. So obviously, like I said before, it's really important to start out with a very clean face. I've been using a lot of the Clinique products lately. Their 3-step kit, which I referred to in my very first video ever here on the tube. So if you want to go check that out, I explain a little more in detail what it is, how I use it, and the price range. I'm using this Clinique Moisture Surge. What this is, it's a moisturizer. This is very, very, very hydrating for your skin. It's a gel cream. I believe it doesn't have oil. I think like the gel-like formulas in Clinique don't have oil in them. So I try not to use like a lot of oily products on my face, even though I have a combination. Not necessarily an oily skin, but I just try to stay away from it because I don't want to get too oily. But actually, if you are oily, sometimes it could be that your body needs oil, and that's why it's overproducing it. So if you have oily skin, I think I'd play around a little with some skin products that do carry a little bit of oil in them. I've been using this for about a year before I put on my foundation. It is simply amazing. It hydrates my skin, it gives me a nice skin and smooth canvas to begin with. And I can go ahead and apply my primer. That is the next step. Primers that I have is the Urban Decay Slick Complexion Primer, the Professional by Benefit Cosmetics, Smashbox Photo Finish. And I recently got this Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Marine Boosting Mist. It's not necessarily 100% a primer, but it can be used to prep your skin prior to applying foundation. I've already done my washing the face and moisturizer and all that, so why don't we go ahead and apply some primer together. Let's go ahead and use this Urban Decay De-Slick one. And basically what I do is I just take it, pump 1.5 to 2 pumps on my 2 fingers, these 2, and then I go ahead and dab it through my face, and then I just kind of like put a little bit over here too to warm it up. And then I go ahead and rub it all over. And I've been noticing, I haven't used this a whole lot, but I've been noticing it peels a little. So I'm going to keep trying it and see if it keeps doing this. Because I have the original Urban Decay primer, and it definitely did not peel at all. And to accompany it, I think I'm going to use the Naked Skin, just because, like I said, this was the very first high-end foundation that I ever used, and I still use it till this day. So now you may wonder, what should I use to apply foundation? There's various tools that you can use to apply foundation on your face. What I use is, sometimes I use brushes like these. As you can see, they have a flat top. This one's slightly bigger than this one though, and this one, see, it just, you can move it all over your skin. And I typically do actually prefer brushes over sponges. Next thing you could use is beauty blenders. This right here is a beauty blender. You can damp it and it expands a little, like a little egg. And then you use this to apply your foundation and pounce it on. I don't always have the patience to pounce on my foundation. Sorry. Or you could use something like this, like the Real Techniques sponge. Same thing, you could use a damp, pounce it on. It's really about your preference. Some even use their fingers. If you use your fingers, this gives you more of a natural skin-like looking finish. Some you may use your fingers and then go back in with a beauty blender to make sure there's no streaks on your face. And I've honestly done that when I was in high school, and my foundation did not look streaky. It's just not a common thing to do nowadays. Let's go ahead and get to the application. I usually have like this little petri dish that I put my foundation into. That way it doesn't absorb into my skin and I waste product. But for today, I'm just going to use the back of my hand. About 2 to 3 pumps. And then I'm going to use that flat brush. It's BH Cosmetics 116. I honestly don't think it's meant for foundation, but like I've said, if something works for you and that's not what it's intended for, who cares? Just use it. If it looks good, if you like the way it applies your foundation and your makeup, then who is someone to tell you that's not what it's meant for? Do it, girl. Do you, boo. Alright. So I typically start by pouncing a little on each side, as such, on my nose. And actually, I want to put on my bunny ears to get my hair out of my face for this. And I actually need maybe a pump more. Because like I said, your skin on the back of your hand, it just absorbs it. So let's pounce on some more. And after I pounced on to my chin and my neck, then I go ahead and blend it in like such. And I like getting it everywhere. You don't want to look uneven anywhere. And I even put a tiny bit on my lids. Under my chin, to my neck, everywhere. You want to look nice and matched up. Your nose. Just get it everywhere, boo. And after that, with my nice and clean hands, I like going in and just making sure it's in my skin everywhere. That's it. That is how you apply foundation. I hope that you learned at least a little bit in my video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up or subscribe if you haven't already. Till next time, loves. Bye.